Sega! Hello everyone and welcome to First20 here on Steven Plays. My name is Steven George, I play video games, and every Friday, it's the first 20 minutes or so of a game. Today we're going to be looking at something special. Special is a good word for it. Shaq Fu. But we're not just looking at Shaq Fu, we're also comparing some Shaq Fu versions. The reason is I grew up... yes, I actually grew up playing this game. I grew up playing the Super Nintendo version of Shaq Fu, and only recently have I learned that there were some pretty big differences between the Super Nintendo version and the Sega Genesis version. So I'm going to be showing you some of those differences today. We're going to start by showing you what I feel is the superior version, the Genesis version. Now keep in mind that I actually had never played the Genesis version until very recently, so I was unaware that there were differences as big as there are. There are actually several extra characters in the Genesis version, and also in my opinion it actually looks and sounds better too. So let's get started. If you may not know anything about Shaq Fu, or you may only know that it is often regarded as one of the worst games ever made. Shaq Fu came out in, I believe, 1994, maybe 95. It was a fighting game featuring Shaquille O'Neal. Hot off the success of both Mortal Kombat and 2D fighting games, and also Shaquille O'Neal's success, they decided, why not put him in a game? He was game for being in the game, so they did it. And this is the result. We are going to do the story mode so you can see how ridiculous the story mode is, but there's also a duel mode, which is basically arcade mode, and to be honest, I don't really know what tournament is. Story! It's downtown Tokyo, and I'm checking out the local sites on the day of my all-star charity game when... Also keep in mind that while the visuals are going to be the same, actually the music is different between the Super Nintendo and the Genesis versions. I stumbled upon a small kung fu dojo with an old man inside. Pepsi, 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 Pepsi. Greetings, big warrior. You are the one from the stars, I presume. I thought I'd never live to see the day. And after I get through a little bit of the Genesis version, I'll switch over and show you the Super Nintendo version. I'm an all-star, if that's what you mean. We have a big game tonight. Would you like to come? It's going to be quite a battle, even though it is for charity. It's for charity! Oh no, young warrior, I'm too old to be fighting. But I must wish you well. You must hurry now if you are to save the little boy in the zoo. That is, if you really are the magic one. I'm not sure what you mean. I'm just sightseeing before my game. What are you talking about? I like how he's walking around town in his jersey, so everyone knows who he is, as if they wouldn't. No time to explain. Go through this portal, find the zoo, and save him before it's too late. Now, whenever I first played the Genesis version, the music already seemed a little different to me. But whenever I got to this map, I freaked out. This was wrong to me, and for anyone who grew up playing the Genesis version of this game, it feels right at home, and when I show you the Super Nintendo version, you're going to be like, what the balls? But this is different. Basically, you have to fight, I think there's 10 characters total, maybe 11 or 12, not counting Shaq, there's, I think, 11. So you have to defeat 11 people before you can get to the congratulatory screen, but you're not going to be able to do that because this game is hard as balls. Not to mention, Shaq is the worst character. Like, the game is not balanced at all, and Shaq is terrible. But there's a bunch of different places you can go. You can defeat these people in any order. There's the Wasteland, Gargoyle's Peak, Vagabond Temple, Lost Jungle, Yasko Mines. You can choose whichever one of these you want and go for it. I'm going to go for, I think... Is the Wasteland the one I want? I'm going to go for the Wasteland. I think this is it. Yes. Do you know where I can find Set and the boy? Grrr. Set is the name of the main villain. He is a mummy of some sort. Now, this guy is particularly easy, I find. He's also exclusive to the Genesis version. And I have found that the best way to kill this guy is to just walk forward and spam high kick. You might be laughing saying, what the balls just happened? Trust me, this is not a typical fight. For whatever reason, I have found that you can kill this guy just by walking forward and kicking. Sometimes he does fight back, and he actually has some pretty cool moves, but I am not afraid to take advantage of an opening whenever I see it, because this game is seriously hard as balls, so I'm just going to to completely wreck this guy. Now there's a fury meter that you'll see. Whenever you beat someone up, their fury meter rises. And once their fury meter gets full, whenever they hit you, it does extra damage. I don't know if it does double damage or something, but it does extra damage. Extra eyeball squash you like a bug. Yeah, he was not in the Super Nintendo version. It was released on Super Nintendo, Genesis, Game Gear, Game Boy, and the Amiga. And Genesis and Amiga have these extra characters, but none of the other versions do. We're gonna go to the Lost Jungle and try and fight Voodoo. I don't know how far I'm gonna get, but eventually I'm not gonna be able to win. Where was Set Raw? Your magic can't hurt me, girlfriend. My magic has never lost a match, and I'm not your girlfriend. All right. Also, this character is not going to be easily defeated. My strategy for her and most of the people is to try and get them into a corner and then kick them as much as I can. It tends to work. Oh God, the hawk. So basic moves here. Oh shoot! We've got heavy kick, heavy punch, fast kick, fast punch, which is pretty standard for fighting games. You also have a taunt, which is that it does nothing, and then there's also the move button, which allows you to quickly move forward or back. If you're close to someone, whenever you use the move button, you'll throw them, which is unblockable. And if you hit down with the move button, you make a shield, which you would think is to protect you, but it actually doesn't block all projectiles. It blocks, I'd say, some of them. Not even most of them, like just some of them. There's one character in particular who is a green mummy dude. We'll definitely see him for this video. He's got a lot of projectile attacks, and luckily it blocks his. Oh God! She's got a voodoo attack where she can just stab you anywhere on the stage and it hurts you. Shaq's special moves are actually very limited, and they're also incredibly difficult to pull off. I'm going to just try to push her into a corner. There we go. I've got her locked into my special move set there, where I just sit in the corner and kick her in the shins until she dies. Shaq's got two special moves. I'm going to see if I can pull them off. One is that flaming roundhouse kick is one, and it is not very good. And then the other one is the Shaq-hurrican, like a Shaq, what's it, the shuriken, like the thing that the ninjas throw. Let me see if I can do it. I'm not going to be able to do it, I'm sure. Oh God. Oh God. Don't die. Don't lose to her. I would rather try and pull it off in a different match. Doggone it, woman! Also, it's hard to show on video, but like, there's a lot of problems with trying to move, and it seems somehow related to the frames of animation. Like, oh God, don't lie. For whatever reason, like, whenever you try to do something and turn around, you don't always do it. You kind of get stuck in the frames of animation that it was showing. I should turn you into a little frog, but since you won honorably, I will let you pass. Now, most people know this game is being terrible, and to be honest, it is terrible, but the visuals are actually pretty good. I think the visuals are really nice, and the music isn't bad either. Yasko Mines holds another character that is exclusive to the Genesis named Diesel. You call yourself Diesel, huh? We'll see who has the last laugh. I have no idea why he's in this game. Keep in mind that these other characters are really weird to me because I actually played Shaq Fu. I bought it new. I did not get it used. I got it new, and none of these characters were ever in the game. Oh God, this guy is hard. Oh, and he has knives that he can throw. It's like friggin' Frank from Earthbound. Okay, there we go. There we go. Get that. I'm actually holding down right now so I can duck, and I'm not doing it. Get down, Shaq! Christ almighty! Yeah, you don't like that, huh? There we go. Keep him in the corner. 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 Gotcha. That's how I roll. Doing things as cheaply as possible because otherwise the game is literally impossible. Alright, let's see if we can push him into the corner. Also notice how, like, even before the words come up that say fight, that the other people can hit me. Also, definitely, this is actually a known fact for the game. The computer characters can move faster when they are controlled by the computer. So, like, if you were fighting a friend, they would not be able to move as quickly and do things as quickly as the computer does them, which is complete and total bullcrap, but that's just the way they designed the game, because they hate people. I'm actually doing really well. I usually don't do this well with this game, because this game is really hard. I'll try I could have beat you back home on the docks. He's so sad. I'm gonna try and pull off the Shaq here on Gargoyle's Peak and see if I can do this. Wait, isn't the North... Which one is this? North Gate? I don't remember. Let's do it. Oh yeah, this guy. Oh god, I'm screwed. I'm gonna rock your chair, Grandpa. You have much to learn, young man. This guy's insane. This is another character that was never in the Super Nintendo version, and he is nuts. Like, this is really stupid. He's got a lot... Maybe I could... No, I'm not. I'm trying to... He can make... Like, see what he can do? It's ridiculous. Shoot me. I gotta keep blocking these, because otherwise he's just... This is insane. This is nuts. What I should do, I think, is try to get ahead somehow magically, which is never going to happen. Look at this guy. And he keeps his hands behind his back. You jerk. I'm thinking if I could do a little damage to him and then just kind of chill on the other side of the stage and wait for the time to run out, I'd be in better shape. God, he's difficult. I need to focus on maybe sweeping him, because that seems to work. Come on, baby. Come on, Shaq, baby. Yeah. He's got a freaking gigantic pole. Do you have a Nimbus Cloud too, you jerk? I'm not even gonna... Let me see. There we go. I pulled it off. That's the Shakuriken. You have to do forward, back, forward, and then your move boost. That was dumb. You get credits. You fight like a darn rookie. I'm going to continue. I'm just not going to go to that level because that level's stupid hard, and I don't know how to beat it because it's so hard. Here's Voodoo. Tell me where the boy in the zoo is before I beat it out of you. Yeah, right. I'll whisper it in your ear after I slap you silly. Voodoo's hard. Not as hard as the crazy monk guy, but he's pretty difficult. I have beat him just by walking forward and kicking him, though. You can see he has a lot of electric attacks that can hit you anywhere on the battlefield. And this is bullcrap because Shaq doesn't have any of that. He's got the Shakuriken that goes in a straight line, but this guy's junk finds you, and if you don't use the shield right at the right moment, you're just done for. It's ridiculous. The entire game is ridiculous. I'm dead. Jeez. God, the thing is, I never knew about fighting games. I was never really into fighting games, but I liked Shaq because I was really into basketball when I was a kid. And I got this game mostly on a whim. I saw the game new and I wanted to get the game, so I got it, and I had no idea that, what fighting games were supposed to be. This game has no combos. This game has no cancels. This game relies mostly on pushing buttons and praying. Ah, God, ah, Jesus. Jeez, I'm screwed. I'm so dead. There's no way. There's no way I'm gonna be able to beat this guy. Done. Jeez. Well, that sends me out again. I'm gonna do my last life over here on the Genesis against the Vagabond Temple. This is the Prince guy. I've been able to beat this guy before. For the record, I beat this game on Super Nintendo. I actually have. I don't know how I did it, but I have done it. Also, it feels to me that the game runs a little faster on the Genesis version, and I don't know if that's just me. Maybe you guys can be able to tell from the video whenever we switch over to the Super NES. But it feels legitimately like the game runs just a little bit faster on the Genesis version. Ugh! Frickin'... I beat this guy by getting him in the corner and kicking him in the shins as well, which seems to be a really good strategy. There we go. Oh, that was a big hit. I just have to hit you again. You son of a gun. I can't. Are you kidding me? One hit, Shaq. Shuriken. Shaq. He killed me. Of course he did. And then he gets to do his little taunt thing. But the backgrounds look really cool. You also notice that with the Genesis, they don't have the ability to scale the ground, and we'll show this exact same thing over on the Super Nintendo, and you'll actually notice that the ground looks very different because they're using the Mode 7 effects from what I can tell, on the ground in the Super Nintendo version, which is pretty neat. And on this version, they don't have that, so instead it looks like they're just doing a bunch of different layers that that change depending on what's going on. Doggone it! I might actually have him. I think I could probably punch him, but it's alright, I'm dead. No harm done. I wasn't using that life anyway. You still have another credit. If you run out of credits, the only thing that happens is you get a game over screen, and then it briefly tells you how to play. But if I let the continue run out, it'll come up and say game over. We press start. It'll let us put in our name if we want, which I don't care. Bad, because this game is bad. Also, unique to the Genesis version, this screen, like putting in your initials like it's a real arcade game, that is not in the Super Nintendo version. Special move, Shaq Hurricane, forward, back, forward, and A. Alright, and then we are back out to the front. Now we are going to switch from the Genesis version to the Super Nintendo version, and you'll get to experience some of the differences. From what I remember from just 10 minutes ago, I don't think that sound effect is even in the Genesis version. It sounds like some kind of Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee something or other. Anyway, Shaq Fu. I like the music in the Super Nintendo version better, I think. We're going to jump into the story mode quick. Actually, first, let me show you Duel. I'm not going to actually duel, and although I don't even know if there's a way to get out of this, because the menus are designed by an idiot. Pretty sure you can't get out. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, there's only 7 characters, and in the other game there's like 12. 10 or 12, or something like that. In fact, the boy that you're trying to save in the zoo is a playable character in the Genesis and Amiga versions. And I think you actually fight against him, like he's been brainwashed or something. Every other character is better than Shaq, and it's really dumb. I'm going to hit select. Okay, so select does take you back. Good. They're not complete idiots. Let's go to the story, and I want you to focus on the music. The music is completely different here. And to be honest, I actually like it. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same thing, though. I mean, even if you compare it side by side with the Genesis version, you're not going to really notice much of a difference. The Pepsi logos are still there. But once we push forward and get to the main map screen, you're going to notice something different. Also, this line of text is in here, which isn't in the Genesis version. And also that line. Whoa, where am I? You can tell that this has been changed pretty drastically. A lot of stuff is missing. I think there's like 6 or 7 places to fight in the first map on the Genesis version. On this one, there's not. Gargoyle's Peak, Vagamon Temple, and Catwalk Falls. If we go to Catwalk Falls, this character is in the Genesis version, just not in this first area. What's up, Catwoman? Can you tell me about the little boy in the zoo? My name is Kaori, and I'm gonna do some serious damage to your body. Dat writing. Dat writing. I like the music, though. I can't complain too much about the music. And honestly, once again, the game actually looks good. I think the game is not bad looking at all. It's just the mechanics of the game are really, really, really terrible. I'm gonna see if I can actually beat you. I might be able to, because I have finished the Super Nintendo game once. I remember doing it and feeling so accomplished because the game is, you know, so ridiculously difficult. Doggone it, Kaori! Please! Throw me a bone here! She can turn into a freaking cyclone! You see her just spamming the same thing over and over? She just turns into a cyclone and then leg sweeps me? And I can't even get out of it? Huh? You want Of course. Thanks! No problem. Also, apparently in her picture, like, she turned into Michael Jackson from Thriller right at the end there. Let me see if I can get a throw in. If you approach them... There we go. So that's a throw. Of course, doing a throw is just... It's the same move as run. And it has to be pressed differently. Like, you can't just hold it and run towards someone and you automatically throw them. You have to run towards them, get within however many pixels distance has to work, and then press it again. By which time the opponent has already punched you in the face. So it's very difficult to do. So the throwing is pretty useless. And I'm dead. Not that I expected, you know, to live, but whatever. Okay. So now you've seen her. So she exists in the game. Now let's go down to Vagamon Temple. I was telling you about the Mode 7 thing. You'll notice that the floor is actually a little different. This is just stuff I noticed on my own playing between the two versions. So, and I don't know if it is mode. I think it is. From what I can tell, it is. And I know that was something the Super Nintendo really tried to push. So let's see if we can give this guy a run for his money, or a run for his swords. Let's see. Was I able to kill... No, I wasn't able to kill him on the Genesis. Maybe I can kill him on the Super Nintendo. Clearly, that's going to be the key to victory. I got Nintendo behind me. And also, once again, I don't know if it's just me, but I do feel like the game runs a little slower on the Super Nintendo. I feel like the Genesis version was pretty much like the original version. Like, they developed it for the Genesis, and then they decided to port it to the Super Nintendo. I shouldn't use the word decide. I'm sure it was always in the game plan, but I think they started with the Genesis version. You see how much damage that guy just did to me because of his fury. And he killed me. Of course he did! Of course he did, because this is Shaq Fu, and it is impossible to win. Fantastic! I'll give this guy one more shot. Come on, buddy! Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I did get a few fights, a few victories on the Genesis version, so I feel a little accomplished. Let's get that... Come on, let's get that shuriken. Shuriken! Come on. Come on. Come on, do it, please, for the love of Christ. Please do the... You're not doing it. You are not... Please do the... Please do the shuriken. Please, you're not... Please do it. Throw it. Throw the shuriken. Throw the shuriken. Throw the shuriken. Shaq! Forward, back... Forward, back, forward, X, man! Shaq! Oh, but the game's pretty and sounds good, so it's got that going for it. Alright, as one final fun little, I don't know, thing to throw in this video, because we showed off both the Genesis versions and the Super Nintendo version, I'm also going to show you the Game Boy version. There's also a Game Gear version, which I don't have to show, and to be honest, like, the Game Gear version looks pretty good. It looks, I mean, because it's in color, but it just doesn't play all that well. But the Game Boy version, of course, is going to be an entire different beast. So let's jump into the Game Boy version. Oh, the beeps and boops are here. Now, what's interesting about this is that on the Game Boy version, there's like 2 songs, and you're hearing one of them. And also, there's like no dialogue, and there's no story, and everything is gone. I mean, which is understandable. I mean, it's a Game Boy game, but still, it's not very good. I feel strongly for any of the children in '94 that bought this game. That's the title screen, Shaq Fu. It's a pretty cool picture, sort of. When we press start, we've got some options: Shaq Fu, dual mode, and options. We'll go to Shaq Fu. The challenge begins! And then that's it. And doesn't explain who anyone is. He just shows up and you're fighting Kaori. Check out damn graphics! And whenever the battle finally starts, there's a different song. And like, some of the same stuff is here. Sort of. But overall, it's kind of a mess. What we're going to do is just crouch and kick. Fun fact, if you just crouch and kick, you can beat the entire Game Boy game in about 5 minutes. And the only reason I know this is because I actually saw a video of someone playing it on YouTube, and that's all they did. They just held down and pressed kick, and they basically did that for 5 minutes. And for whatever reason, it's, you know, it completely bewilders the AI of the computer, and you win. They end up somehow losing. It probably helps to get them in a corner, but that's what the guy did, and that's how we beat it. Anyway, I'm sure that there are limited characters in this version. I'm not sure of the exact details, but and there's no dialogue here. It's just him looking like he beat up a woman. It's really bad. Anyway, that's going to be it. I'm going to let this guy beat the crap out of me, so I lose. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you learned a little more about Shaq Fu than just Shaq Fu is that really bad Shaquille O'Neal fighting game from '94. Because yes, it is, but there's a little more to it than that, and I hope that you actually learned a few things about the game and some of the differences between the versions. The reason I made this video to begin with is the fact that just recently they announced that there's going to be a second Shaq Fu. They're remaking, I don't want to say remaking, they're making a new version of Shaq Fu. It's Shaq Fu 2, I think, is just what it's called. You can Google it. They've unveiled it. Shaquille O'Neal is, 100% behind the project. It's going to be interesting. I also think it's going to be a mobile game. Maybe not, but I guess we'll find out. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week here on Steven Plays.